everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Kim, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. It means the world to me that you come back week to week to see what I'm up to. Alright, so today's video, it is going to be part 2 of this massive unhauling of books. So I will link down below and in the cards the part 1 segment to this Unhaul. Just feels so good to actually be purging books, and I never ever would think I would ever feel that way because I love books. But in order to be able to bring more books in, I have to really take a hard look at what it is that I have, what do I want to keep, what do I think I'm actually going to reread in the future, and that's what makes up onto these bookshelves. So the ones that are here, that doesn't mean that there are not good books. It may just be I no longer am interested in them, they're no longer holding my attention, or I have DNF'd them, and that sort of thing. A lot of them come from book boxes that I have, some that I got from my local Goodwill, thrift shop, that type of thing. But over the time I never got to them, and they just kind of no longer hold my interest anymore. So again, enough of this lovely introduction. Let's dive into the books that I am going to be saying goodbye to. And then I will either give them, if there's space in the local little book libraries that are around town, my local library if they're taking in books, or I'll donate them to like a thrift store like Goodwill. Alright, so the first one, this is by Lisa Jackson. This is Willing to Die. I believe this is a later book in a series, and it references a lot of things that happened previously. I believe she does like murder mystery type books, and because it's not a fully standalone book, I was missing a lot of the background information of what took place then. So I'm going to say goodbye to this one because I just can't get into it without the previous books. So this one is going to go, but I have loved her work in the past, so she is a great author. I'm missing too much to really keep it, and I'm not interested in it enough to go get the previous books to catch up to it. Okay, this one I believe came from a bookcase club, the Strange World box. This is The Lost Puzzler. I ended up DNFing this one because there was not enough transitional points to know when you were going into the past versus the present, and it was just a constant jumping around. If you've been on my channel enough, you know that stories have to be fluid for me to stay in them, and if it jumps around too harshly, then it pulls me out of the story and I don't enjoy it, and then I lose interest, and that's what happened with this one. Kind of sad because I really wanted to get into it. The Hush. I don't really remember much about this one. Yeah, this is, okay, I do remember trying to read this one. It was a very bizarre one. I don't remember which box this one came in, and it's about this guy who apparently has some weird powers, and he lives out in kind of the middle of nature in very harsh conditions, and to keep the land and his family or some sort of thing. It was very bizarre. I didn't care for the style of writing, so I ended up DNFing it. It just took me a moment to remember what was going on with that book. This one, this is Revelations. It's again a part of a series later in the book, later in the series, so I'm not interested enough in it. And this is by Melissa De La Cruz to go back and get all the previous books to catch up to where this book is in the series. Love is Blind. When I read up on the synopsis, this was when I was doing the kind of the romance section of the Bookcase Club. Just wasn't really interested in it when I unboxed it, and I haven't picked it up since I got it. So that one's going to go. The Clarity, and that was by William Boyd, if I didn't tell you that previously. Yeah, this one was very bizarre. It's got a woman screaming, hands coming out. She's supposed to hold all these memories from past World War, and it was very weird and just really not something I was interested in. So I'm going to pass it on to someone who would actually enjoy that. So I never did pick that one up. A lot of these seems like were from books that I did not were too much interested in overall. This is In the Rain of Summer Stars. This by Stephen R. Lawhead. Just not something I was interested in. I have no desire or draw to pick it up, so it's going to go on as well. Yes, okay, so this is kind of a sci-fi type book, but it's more military-esque, and it's just, again, I'm not into much of the military scene. I have tried several, but it just never holds my interest. So that's going to go. Again, this is a murder mystery. I'm not much into just straight up murder mystery type books. I like more thriller-esque, horror, that type of thing. And this is more on the lanes of just trying to find out who killed somebody. And that's just, again, not my cup of tea. Not saying they're bad books, but it's just not what I'm interested in at the moment. Okay. This one, this is The Hollow Tree. This is kind of the horror genre. I started reading it and then I just lost interest in it. She did something really stupid at the very beginning of the book, and then it jumps around again into some of this past things that are going on in the past, and again, just lost interest in it. I talked about this one in a previous unboxing. I'd already read this book. I think I got it from a local thrift store when I had it the first time. I was disappointed in the book. I didn't care for it. It was not spooky. It was not scary. I love the movie production of this, The Haunting on Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So I love the movie production. It was a lot more spooky, a lot more scary-esque, whereas the book was very dry and to me very, very boring. In case you missed it, this is more like a middle grades type book. I started reading it and only got to chapter 5. Lost interest, DNF'd it. This one was kind of a strange mix of military and kind of like the X-Men type of thing. Not hugely into it, so I never did pick it up. Even though I do like the X-Men, I do like that idea, that was just did not pique my interest enough to actually pick it up. This one, again, a lot of these came in my book boxes, and that is the downfall to them. You may get things that you are not interested in, or genres, parts of genres that just don't hold your attention. We Were Liars. Again, it's not the type of book that I particularly care for. This is by Hart. I'm not doing a very good job of telling you the author's names this go around, but yeah, so this one again is kind of lying, cheating. That's what this kind of reminded me of. So I only got about 4 more books to go. I did not realize how many of these I actually did not pick up when I was doing this one. So I didn't have a very good mix this go around. The Truth Commission, this is kind of another kind of soft mystery type of thing, and again, just not something that I enjoy, really interested in picking up. And this is by Susan Juby. So again, just not up my alley right now. I did read this one, so yay! Got to a book I read. To Catch a Killer. This is actually pretty decent. I would say it's more middle grade, high school type of book. Enjoyed it. Kind of figured out who kind of did it. So I think I gave it maybe a 4 stars. I can't remember. I think I had it in one of my wrap-ups earlier last year. This is by Shirley Scarborough. And I think it is part of a series, but I didn't enjoy it enough to want to read the second book that came with after it, the book that came after it. But not bad, kind of in the YA zone. Same thing with this one, it is more of the YA. This is when I was exploring the YA section of the Bookcase Club. Places No One Knows. This was kind of a paranormal romance between high school students and her abilities and finding out things about that nature. It was cute. I think it was either a 3 or 4 star read for me. Not bad, but again, it's not something that I would foresee myself rereading. So it's going to go to someone else who will enjoy at least reading it one time, if not more than once. This one is Slayer by Kirsten White, I believe. Kirsten White. If you are a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this kind of takes off as a spin-off of that series. Wasn't bad, not quite what I was thinking it was going to be, and I did not wish to continue on reading the series after reading the first book. Wasn't bad, but not kind of what I was really expecting either. So these are all of the books that I am going to say goodbye to. Again, a lot of this one in this section, I did not realize how many I hadn't actually read, but they are cluttering up my bookshelves, things that I'm just not interested in. I may have been more interested in at one time, but I am no longer interested in them now. So they are going to go to places where they can find good homes for people who are going to want to read them instead of just collecting dust on my bookshelves. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Leave me comments down below if you've read any of these authors. And until my next video, I hope you have a great one. Bye, guys.